Hey, we're back. And guess what? Cleveland rocks. That's what they say. But anyway, we're heading up to Cleveland to talk about the Cavaliers. Let's go ahead and jump into the summer transactions. They acquired Andrew Bynum, Jarrett Jack, Earl Clark, and rehired Mike Brown as their head coach. They lost Omar Caspi, Maurice Spates, Sean Livingston, and Wayne Ellington. They drafted Anthony Bennett with the number 1 overall pick. For what?
The Canadian.
I understand why they did it. I like it. Sergey, a Russian, 19 pick. When I look at these transactions, I actually think that all their acquisitions were good acquisitions. With a caveat. Andrew Bynum, will he stay healthy? Is he going to be productive when he's on the court?
That's the question.
I like bringing Mike Brown back. He should have never lost his job from the get-go, but I understand why you did what you did, Cleveland. Anthony Bennett, I understand why you drafted him when I look at the draft class, but is he a true number 1 pick? He's going to have to always live up to being a number 1 pick, and that's a big deal. He'll be better than Michael Olowokandi, but he won't be a legit number 1 overall pick. So I think they're going to contend. But health is a big deal for this team when you're looking at your center and your point guard.
Andrew Bynum was an excellent pickup. Excellent price for him.
King's ransom for him.
Yeah, $6 million guaranteed contract. So, great job.
They can cut him whenever they want to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're in a good position with Bynum because he's going to get hurt the 6th game of the season. Earl Clark, I like that pickup. I think that was a real good move, especially when you got a point guard like Kyrie Irving. I think that was a great move. Mike Brown, congratulations, brother. I hope this really works out. You've been going through some crap. You see the Lakers paid for it last year. I'm just glad you're back.
They all seem real nice, but I think they got a real good player in Jarrett Jack for that bench. He did a pretty good job out at Golden State.
And he allows Kyrie Irving to play off the ball.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the rotation. You have Andrew Bynum starting at center, Tristan Thompson starting at power forward, Earl Clark starting at small forward, Dion Waiters starting at shooting guard, and Kyrie Irving starting at point guard. Bench consists of Jarrett Jack, Anthony Varejao, Anthony Bennett, Tyler Zeller, C.J. Miles, and Alonzo G. Sorry, G. Triple OG. I apologize.
I really like this rotation because Mike Brown preaches defense.
Mm-hmm.
So you enter Earl Clark with all that length. My only issue there is Andrew Bynum going to stay healthy? I think we all doubt that. Enter Varejao. To be honest, I'm not sure that Varejao is going to end the season a Cavalier.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to enter Tyler Zeller. He got a lot of time last year. Are you going to take a next step, or are you going to live up to Marlon Copeland's expectations and just be horrible?
Just be a Zeller, man.
I think his key point is Zeller. What are you going to do? And whatever he decides to do is whether or not they will have someone to anchor this defense.
That's a very good point. I agree with that. But I think another person that has to help out the scoring is Dion Waiters. He just has to pull his weight.
I don't want him shooting the ball.
I'm just saying he has to pull his weight.
Yeah.
I don't want him to touch the ball.
Wow.
Yeah, last year he kind of fell off at the end of the year real bad.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing about Dion Waiters, and I do agree. I wouldn't want him to shoot either, but Dion, we still waiting.
Yeah, he got still.
I think, to be honest with you, I actually think he could work with Kyrie Irving, but we still waiting.
Yeah.
And as far as Anthony Bennett, I had to change it and say, okay, you made a good pick because Alex Lynn should have been there, but he got no foot, so you dodged a bullet. But yeah.
I think the biggest concern with Bennett is going to be his weight.
Yeah, I agree.
6'7" frame though.
My person of interest, It's actually Anthony Bennett. And the reason why is because he can shoot. He has a wide body. He can run the court a little bit. He can do a little bit of everything. But will he be able to mesh his talents and focus on a couple of things so he can be supreme at that and get into the starting rotation? That's the question. Because right now he looks like a fat small forward and he looks like a short power forward.
Yeah.
So it just depends on, it's up to him to figure out a niche and make that niche work for him.
Okay, my personal answer would probably be Andrew Bynum. I think he's different between them being a 5th seed and a 7th or 8th seed. And he stay on the court, he can stay healthy. They can get a good amount of games out of him. I think he'll pick that offense up.
Yeah. I actually I would like to watch Kyrie Irving because you can't stay on the court. Kyrie Irving cannot stay on the court. And it's only a matter of time before this Cleveland city that has fallen in love with him eventually grows tired of you sitting in a suit on the sideline.
Yeah.
So it's up to Kyrie Irving to really have he's got to play 70, well, I would say 65 to 70 games this year. He has to. And if he doesn't, then I think this team is going to struggle. Not because Jared Jack is not a good enough fill-in, but because who's going to bring the scoring punch that he brings? Nobody.
He's out of the lineup. This team ain't scoring.
This team is not scoring.
I'm kind of interested in what C.J. Miles going to do since he's no longer starting. The only reason why I say that, he had like so many expectations coming in actually by a lot of people. So I wonder if this going to help him ramp it up. Like, is he going to say, I'm going after for my starting job, or he's just going to be Marvin Williams?
Don't say that. That's a cheap shot.
With anybody, I mean,
I'm
can
just being
anybody be
honest.
Marvin Williams?
I'm just being honest. That's how I look at it.
That's funny.
Wow.
All right, final thoughts on this team.
They're contending for the playoffs right now, and they have shown every bit that they are willing to do it, and they're willing to do whatever it takes. It's all on health. Andrew Bynum has to stay healthy. Kyrie Irving has to stay healthy. And I'm going to tell you somebody. Tristan Thompson has to stay healthy because they need his athleticism at the power forward position to contend in the East. It's a lot of older power forwards in the East.
Yeah.
And if you're going to try to make it in the East, you better be able to outrun them and outgun them.
Well, we see what Mike Brown has done before with Cleveland and the pieces he had. But, I mean, I ain't going to say nothing. But I think that's all it depends on. It's on coaching at this point.
Mike Brown has always had a superstar.
Well, a lot of teams got superstar. Like, I mean,
And they win. Outside of Minnesota.
So I think Cleveland they getting past the being a middle of the road team, and they heading in the right direction. But only time to tell how far Mike Brown take them.
Sorry, Mike Brown. See me in the streets, man.
All right, my final thought is, I actually think this team is going to make some moves at the trade deadline or sometime before the trading deadline. I don't think this is the final roster. Then I think in the middle of the year you'll see some trades. That's my final thought, and they'll make a playoff push. So we're gonna leave the Midwest. We're gonna go down to where voodoo is preached. So we'll see you down there pretty soon. Talk to you guys in a minute.